Okay.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Killer Collab Podcast. As always, my name is Tone Deaf from Florida, Tony D. Always joined with Chris Lato from Reaper Films.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Chris. Chris,
How
how
you
you doing today?
Doing great.
Yeah? You're a little chipper today.
Never better.
Did you get laid? You look chipper today.
Actually, yes.
Good
2 days
for
ago.
you.
Nice.
Good for you.
2 days ago.
You didn't have to pay for
Very
it?
exciting. No, it was free.
Oh, and we have some returning guests in the studio today. If you don't recognize them, that's your fault. Watch the other video. Sitting with us, we have Sith Jade
Hello.
and Blake Stone.
How's it going, man?
Blake Stone, how we doing this morning?
A little tired, but this will help.
The coffee's not kicking in? Is that a Starbucks coffee?
Yeah, it should have been a lot darker, but it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, my
You gotta
Starbucks, you fucked up. You fucked up his coffee. He's not going to be awake for this whole episode. What is?
I'll figure it out.
I don't
You
get
have
the
some
coffee
espresso.
thing.
I need coffee. Like, so I
Yeah,
forgot to
don't
make coffee this
understand
morning.
it.
That's why I'm drinking Coke.
Nice.
That's what literally I forgot to make coffee this morning because I woke up. I was like, and I just took my wake up meds and then I just couldn't even remember anything. Then
Like,
you
I
walked
look
in
at
the door.
Starbucks and I'm just like, you people are waiting in this long ass line to drop $7 on a cup of coffee.
That's expensive.
That line
then-
is ridiculous.
I'll sit in line to first on damn Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're very efficient though. They move real
They
quick.
are the shit.
yeah, they are.
Like, when they were having all those problems with the vaccine and where to go and how to get it and waiting in these long lines, I'm like, y'all should have just had Chick-fil-A.
Mhm.
Run that.
Orchestrate it. Yeah.
Like, let me get a Chick-fil-A sandwich and a large fry and a COVID vaccine.
Just
And
done.
Just-
Johnson
Out
and
the door.
Johnson.
Yep.
everybody
The
would
thing
have been
is-
vaccinated in like
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yep.
You would have gotten the
Whole country.
entire. The thing is, the entire far right side would have gone in because they love Chick-fil-A. So I mean, problem solved.
But they wouldn't go in on Sunday because you can't.
No,
No.
Right.
Because
They're
Chick-fil-A is
no.
very.
And that's the day I crave it the most too.
Yeah,
Sunday?
they
Because
know.
you know you can't
They know.
get it.
That's what they do.
You know you can't get
It's
it.
good marketing.
I like pizza. I order
Check.
pizza on Sundays, like especially football Sundays. I have to order pizza.
Friday's pizza.
Yeah,
for
Friday's
us.
pizza day. Yeah.
Friday is
Oh,
pizza.
see-
and
See, I
movie.
work Friday night, so
Taco Tuesday.
yeah.
There's a lot of
You care
there's a
about.
lot of closed pizza places on Sunday, which is so weird to me. Like there's 2 pizza places by my house, Queen's Pizza and Gino's Pizza, and they're both closed on Sunday. I'm
That's
like,
weird.
Are they family?
Why would you
family
be-
owned?
Yeah, I
So
think they're
maybe
small.
yes.
They're small independent
Yeah.
places,
But
but
I
it's
can't
like
lie.
that's
Yeah.
got to be your money day, man. Like football and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I don't know.
Wings.
Well, maybe
Pizza.
they don't
Pizza
do
and
wings.
wings.
Or do they do wings?
I don't know.
'Cause that would be.
I don't know. My favorite pizza place took away their flat wings and with their bone in. That made me real upset.
Who's your
She's a little
favorite?
better.
It's called Jet's Pizza.
Oh,
It's
I
it's like
that.
it's a smaller place, but oh my
Yeah.
god, their wings are so good.
Isn't
They
that a
got the
chain?
square pizza.
Isn't Jet's
yeah,
Pizza
just
a
as-
Yeah.
It's a small chain.
It's a
I think
smaller
they
chain.
have
Yeah.
Four,
Yeah,
four restaurants.
they're really good though.
Oh, that's it. I
I-
thought they were like a Little
I don't-
Caesars. Like
yeah.
big.
Mm-mm.
Oh, really?
No, I think they're just like a small chain in the area.
We
Yeah,
could be totally wrong.
I could be 100% wrong. Do not quote me.
Yeah, when I worked at Publix on
Quote
Monday
it.
night, when I worked at Publix on Monday night, the manager would buy us all Jet's Pizza.
That's awesome.
I've never
Like,
been.
Good
closed.
manager.
I can't find any good pizza in this area, like at
Okay.
all. Like I'm from Jersey, so pizza here.
Yeah,
like,
pizza's kind of not so great. It's hard.
What'd you say, Blake?
What? Nothing.
We found there was a
about?
there was a place in Oldsmar that we found, and we they had just opened, and it was this Italian family. They were from Italy, and they opened this place up. Like everything, well, like the first day we went in there for lunch, and we just got a little bit of everything just to try a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Everything was amazing. Like their meatballs were so good, their pizza was great, their wings were great, and we would go there every Friday. Bam, bam, bam. And then the people were like, you can tell they weren't business savvy. Like they were like
Oh.
amazing cooks, but didn't
Yeah.
know how to run a business.
Yep.
And we pulled in one
Like
on
just take
Friday
the
and
vibe.
walked up to the door, and we're like,
Closed.
holy shit, they're closed. And we were hoping that they were out of town or something. No, they were closed forever.
Wow.
I was so sad.
That happened to that little
Yeah.
family-owned Greek place that we liked.
We used to get shawarma every so
Yes.
we
Oh
would
my
do.
What is shawarma?
It's gyro. It's basically another word for gyro. It's in the same wheelhouse.
Yeah, and just
And they shave it
Shave
off.
off
Yep.
the.
It's shaving the meat.
Put
'Cause
it on
I
a
remember
pizza.
from the mid credit scene from Avengers, he
Yep.
was like,
Yeah.
"Let's
Yeah,
go
yeah.
get shawarma." I was like, "What the fuck is shawarma?"
That's what it is.
So good.
It was just Tony being
Um,
fancy. It's a gyro.
So yeah, literally. So this little mom and pop shop was like literally the next plaza over from the mall that we would go to on Tuesdays to go see a movie. And we did, I want to say like 3 months straight.
Oh yeah.
We went there. And then one day we pulled up, they were closed. And we were like,
Gone.
what do
That's
we do
the
now?
worst,
They're
too,
like,
man.
so
Like-
sorry to our loving customers. We
Yeah.
can't afford to be here.
Yep.
I'm like, oh.
So we
Wow.
went around the
We,
corner and found a pho place and then got
Yeah.
hooked on that for like the next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a big fad, or it still is a little.
Oh,
Mhm.
for me, it's
Well,
It was
that's
called
his whole
Spin and
life.
Slice. So every time we pass the plaza, now we're like, "Damn you, Spin and Slice!"
what a name.
Yeah.
Their food was
Well,
so good.
You know what? The food industry is not an easy business. Like I've been doing it for almost 20 years now. It's not like you have to have a lot of money, a lot of like just everything. Like
Is there money in restaurants?
oh, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Like a
Money
lot-
made.
I mean,
Yes, you
going
can make a
into
lot of
it,
money. You
so-
can make a lot of fucking money because well, you have to have a good chef, a good menu, and especially if you have a bar in it, it's already you can make that profit margin back.
Right.
But
'Cause I've been
food,
watching the Gordon Ramsay show where he goes into failing restaurants and
Kitchen
tries.
nightmares.
Oh, yeah.
Kitchen nightmares.
well,
Oh
that's
my
what I did.
God.
That's what I did right before I went back to my old job. Right before I went back to this most recent, that's what I was doing, traveling around the country doing that. I basically did that pretty much all through the country.
Well,
I-
like opening, like helping restaurants.
yeah. I was in like
That's cool.
San Francisco, Iowa, all over, like literally New York.
And it's like some
Alabama.
of these people on these shows, you're just like, what are you doing?
What?
Yeah.
Did you see the one with the twin brothers? They were real
Yes.
goofy.
Oh my gosh.
Love that.
They had
They
no
were
idea what was going on.
Literally, like
They were the worst.
Making pizza.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Well, a lot of his shows are just full dramatizations. Like
Oh, yeah.
they're very
But these
over
guys were
dramatic.
so
The little
goofy.
pum pum sound
And they
effects
were
they
like,
added.
and they would cry like every 5 minutes.
Yes, they cried.
our chicken parmesan.
Well, it sucks.
Yeah, they were TV perfect. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a great show.
Yeah, I mean, Bar Rescue, and then you have the Gordon Ramsay one, which is was it Hell? No.
Hell's
No,
Hell's
Kitchen.
kitchen.
Kitchen
Nightmares.
Kitchen
Yeah.
Nightmares.
Then you have another one who does hotels. Like they have a whole bunch of different shows like that they.
That's good.
But I hear how much money people put into a restaurant. I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
is
Millions
there
of
that
dollars
much-
sometimes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
$2 million to open a
Mhm.
restaurant. It's just like,
Oh, yeah.
damn.
That's crazy.
Well, you got to think about your first supply of food. You have to put up front. You're not getting that, and how much food costs, and depending on how big your menu is, and if it's freshly grown, if you're getting fresh fish, fresh right from the farm, like it really depends on how you're getting it and how who your distributor is too, because your distributor is where they're going to make a lot of their profit margin on the distribution, but that's how you have to decide on pricing for your menu. If you don't price it right, you're fucked.
You're
Right.
done.
Yeah.
That's what seems to be the trend on that show is people's menus are like crazy and they
Yep.
can't handle
Yeah.
cooking at
We
all.
have 70
So that's like the
options.
first thing he does is like trim down the menu.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
From like
because that's where
80
you
items to 20.
well, you'd think that would be like restaurant 101. Like, do these people not read how to
You would
open a
think.
restaurant before
Well,
they do it?
well, it really depends on if they open a restaurant of their passion, they love to cook, and it's like they wanted to make a menu, they wanted to do it their way,
Right.
which is why they
So-
opened the business. But that's not how you
Right.
sustain your business.
Open,
Yeah.
put whatever I like on the menu. Like
Yeah.
everything in the world that I
Pretty
like.
much, yeah.
Get
Yeah.
a food truck and do that. Food trucks are good for that. It's small. It's less cost. You can like kind of do more what you want without worrying about so much overhead.
Yeah.
That's a better idea.
No, exactly. But like I said, people just get way over their head. They're like, oh, just like the movie we watched. What was the
Well, chef.
no, not only Chef, but the other one
Big
with
Night?
the two brothers. Yes,
Big
Big
Night.
Night. Basically the same thing. Like they wanted to take too much on the menu, and then he wanted to break it down because it was just costing them too much for that special cheese. I think
Right.
it was in the movie.
The
Like
cheese.
it was so that's exactly why those businesses aren't successful, because they reach too high.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they overprice themselves out of their market, and then you're selling cheese for fucking $70, and your average plate is $20. Like
Cheese
you
is
can't
expensive
you
for
can't
no
do that.
reason.
It
like
is.
like
Well, I'm
Gourmet
lactose
cheese.
intolerant now, so I don't even have to worry about buying cheese now. But
I'm mostly
Oh.
lactose intolerant, but I don't care.
I don't
I,
know.
I still eat my
I-
pizza. Oh, I still eat my pizza, and
So does-
die.
I suffer the next day.
So-
Oh, that sucks. See, I'm single. I just have
Wah,
to.
wah.
See, I just look at my cat. She just looks at me funny. It's like,
Y'all ever eat
Deal.
Rizzoli's up in Dunedin? They got pretty good pizza. We actually just ate there
I
the
don't
other
think
night.
we've been there. There's
I
a
got-
lot of places that we haven't gone yet.
Yeah, it's right on 580. Like right when you get off 19, you make a right on. Is that 590 or 580?
It's 580. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there on the right hand side. It's
Is it
like a little
countryside?
plaza. Yeah, it's right
Okay.
right past.
Maybe I have
countryside.
eaten there.
I'll say
Pretty good.
My thing is I forget the names of places that we eat. I
Yeah.
just know
Do you know that
food's
one
good and I
place?
can drive us back there. Like
Yeah.
I don't know street names, like,
Muscle
I'm
memory.
horrible directions. So I'm like, yeah, I can follow food.
Yeah.
Like I can do that.
Follow the
I'm
smell.
literally a bloodhound. I'll find this pizza. It's cool.
But yeah, their pizza's good.
See,
and
I
they
just
got-
remember signs.
They got good Parmesan
Yeah.
garlic wings that are good.
Ooh.
Well, I like garlic.
Garlic and everything.
Garlic knots. I love garlic knots. If I can find
Oh,
a good
dude.
garlic knot with a
Dude,
nice
you don't even, there's a
little-
place in Newport Richie. We just went there for Saturday for lunch. It's called Mamma Mia's. It's in Newport Richie by Regency, and they call them garlic knots, but it's literally just dough, like pizza dough, and we call them butter pillows because
Okay.
they're
Oh,
chunk.
yeah.
They're like little squares, and they're just soaked in butter and Parmesan and Dude, it's like freaking
I'm
heaven.
sold.
Like it's ridiculous how good. Like we'll get a whole box of them and we'll eat the whole damn box and take our sandwich
Don't
home.
blame you.
Because they're so good.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the only place I know of that has them like that. Most people they have
They're just a little ball.
big ball
Yep.
with
Yeah.
garlic knots. But this place, man, they are.
They were like, we don't know
It's
how to
like
make the knot.
ridiculous.
You get a loaf.
Yeah.
You get a loaf of bread.
I would take
Nice.
a garlic loaf. 100%. 100%.
But it's the bomb.
I always fill myself up with the bread first.
I love bread.
Yeah. Oh, I love bread. I'm
I
very
think it's like
Italian.
a family
so-
treat. Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandfather would eat like 2 loaves of bread. Like it was ridiculous.
I love it so much. I love it. I love food.
So not to totally offend because you're Italian, and I know you also are Italian.
Mhm.
I have Italian in me, but not enough to make me cringe at the sentence. My family used to do Olive Garden all the time, right?
I'm just
And
cringing right now.
My wife, not my wife, sorry. My wife yells at me for this story. My mother would always tell me, she's like, just fill up on the bread and the salad, and then we'll take the entrees home because the sauce
Smart
will
woman.
kick in and everything will taste better the next day. I agree with that sentence.
Right.
Like, pasta's always better the next
Of
day.
course.
It's like, sauce bakes in.
The
flavors
ingredients
are
talk to
richer.
each other in the
Yeah,
fridge.
mingle
I mean,
overnight.
obviously you're starting from Olive Garden anyway, so it's not like high quality, but it's always better the next day.
Sure.
So
It's
we would
frozen.
literally go in, we would just
It
eat
literally
just
is.
baskets of the breadsticks and the salad, and then just have like full like linguine, parmesan, all the different stuff just baked in just the fridge, and the entire house would just smell it when you come home from school the next day. It's just like it was.
Ah,
I already ate. I
Olive
ate
Garden.
right before we came here. I'm like, oh. Gee.
I haven't been doing Olive Garden probably
Olive
like
Garden.
forever.
I used to love Carrabba's, man, but
Yeah.
That was I would
Lately-
choose Carrabba's over
yeah,
Olive Garden.
lately they've been kind of the whole Outback franchise has been kind of
Yeah.
going downhill,
They're having a hard
and
time.
they feel like the way to get out of it is raise their prices and lower their portions, which I don't think that's a good idea
Their portion
at all.
size is ridiculous.
Their
like,
portions, they used to be like I would get Polo Rosa Maria, and I would have it's 2 chicken breasts,
Right.
and I would always take one home with my
Yeah.
pasta.
Is there,
Like I would
like,
never be able to eat it.
chicken breast.
Now they're so small I can eat the whole thing, and it kind of sucks.
One bite.
Yeah.
And
I
this shit's like $22 too now for
Everyone's
2 chicken breasts. It's
everyone's
ridiculous.
trying to make up their money from
Yeah.
last
I
year.
guess.
In the vid.
I mean, down here, it wasn't even closed that long.
Nope, Florida doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
either
dude.
live or you
Yeah,
die.
dude.
We're staying open.
We're very Darwinist down here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm scared.
I stopped watching all of the politics because it's just been ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like they politicize this whole pandemic. Like, don't get me wrong, I got vaccinated only because I'm a high health risk.
Yeah.
But the way they're politicizing it is just
Yeah,
like.
it's great.
And,
And I've
as many people are dying right now.
Yeah, I know.
Still?
My
Yep.
father-in-law my ex-father-in-law just passed away last week from it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so avoidable.
Yeah.
Just go get the vaccine, shut the fuck up, and let's get back to work. Like,
The country is so divided. I've never seen a country as divided as it is now.
Yeah.
Like you got this side of people and that side of people, and you can't tell any of them anything, or they're gonna blast you for it. So
Yeah.
I'm over here in
I
the
just
corner
sit here.
shutting
Yep,
up.
I'm in the middle. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh
all
yeah.
right.
I just shut up and it's like do whatever you want.
I don't know what their end game is. Because one, here in Florida, it's very Republican.
Yeah.
And they only won by a very slim margin.
Right.
Now, if they refuse to get vaccinated and a lot of them die, how are you getting votes?
What are you,
I mean,
what are you
dead
gonna
people
do?
voted for like 50 years. So
I
like,
mean,
Yeah, that's
it
true.
could work.
Yeah.
You know.
they'll
I
figure it out.
mean, but really, what's their end game? Because like they're gonna
I have
see
no
all
idea.
these
I don't think they
deaths.
have one,
I don't know.
honestly.
Like, okay, so my dad is like really into conspiracy theories, and like the thing is,
Very
like,
much
some
so.
of them I'm like, yeah, I can see that happen. Like,
Oh, I'm on board with some.
I
conspiracy
never go
theories.
into fact check because the thing is, the more that you dig into it, even if you don't find stuff on like, let's say like COVID is like what you're searching,
You'll find
the
other
deeper you
things.
dig into stuff, the more other stuff you find out, and you
Right.
just get depressed.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
so
like
Yeah.
I heard like someone said like, oh, the whole virus was like it was man-made, it was released by man, and blah blah, blah, and that's how it spread. I'm like, I can see that happening because there's tons of movies that are all
Right.
like
And
Yeah.
they all are
Outbreak
about that.
and all this different stuff. Like
Right.
there's tons of movies on that. I'm like, yeah, totally feasible. So if it came from a bat, came from a person, either way, perfect time to sink Trump. Not like he needed the help,
Yeah.
but
Right.
easy tip of the scale. And it's like, okay, well, I would like the antidote to work a little faster because I like the idea
We're having-
of going to visit anyone else, especially my neighbor when I need a cup of sugar. Like that's not even a thing anymore. You go to your neighbor and they're like, I'm going to kill you. Don't sit
Yeah.
beside my door.
Right.
Don't come,
Yeah.
Like, it's
don't come
so,
near me.
Like dark now.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
yeah,
no
it's
there's no
crazy.
neighborly
Yeah.
anything nowadays. Like I mean, there's probably some neighborhoods out there that are still probably like soccer moms neighborhoods.
yeah.
Our
But-
neighborhood kind of is. People are always like around, hanging out and
5 feet
talking
away.
to each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like.
But I don't. It's not like what's that Housewives movie
Oh.
or show? Was it
Desperate Housewives.
Desperate Housewives?
Yeah,
How that
Oh.
neighborhood
they're
is
just all out on the street, or
Yeah.
on the sidewalks all the time.
spraying their lawn.
Hi,
It's
That's
not gonna be like that
sketchy to me.
anymore ever.
Don't talk to me. I don't know you.
Well, like WandaVision,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect example. Yeah.
I mean, trauma does a lot. So
So Chris just started watching Loki, and he's not sold on
2
Loki.
episodes. I just finished episode 2.
It gets better.
See? That's what I said.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what everybody
Oh yeah.
says.
They started it off kind of slow,
Yeah,
but
it's
it
just
amps up heavily.
Not grabbing my interest for some
Yeah.
reason.
It will. It will.
Maybe it's because I don't really like Loki.
See,
I've never
you'll learn to
liked
like
him.
You'll learn to like him.
I've never liked him. I've never been like,
That's
oh,
right.
Loki's in it. You know.
Right.
It's just kind of.
I don't know. Like I said, I've been saying it before it was even released. I was like, I'm excited for the show.
I think I find him annoying.
I can
He's-
see that.
I mean, he's meant to be.
He's the little brother. He's the little
Yeah.
annoying
Right.
brother who
I
always
get
wanted
it.
to cause problems.
I mean, I get the
Not
character.
touching
I
you.
He's
just
the god of mischief.
don't really care about him.
Like, he's the god of mischief. He's that little runt kid.
I didn't really care about Wanda and the Vision either, but I loved the show. I thought it was great.
okay.
Well-
That's
I'm
fair.
just hurting.
Like
So
I think so. She loves like side characters. Like,
I
side
do.
characters that can get a plot and just take off. She's
yeah.
Like, good for you.
Yeah.
Because in the comics and stuff, I mean, they all have their own stories,
Yeah,
and they're like
sure.
they're all really cool and really powerful. And then in the movies, they're like you're just kind of here.
Yeah, I
for
know. Isn't
plot
Scarlet Witch
development.
supposed to be like the
Oh, she's
the most
supposed to-
powerful
She's
person
an
in the
Nexus
world
being.
and
Yep.
in the universe? And they made her like she was really
sad?
that
She's
much.
They
just
screwed
sad.
over her brother too. Like Quicksilver is dead in the first appearance. But it's
I
like,
Yeah.
know.
like, what are you doing?
They're
Like,
such
such
great
great
I love
characters.
they brought.
I like the
um,
X-Men.
Yeah,
I like the X-Men.
I love they
Yeah.
brought
Better.
him into WandaVerse. I was like, that was a good little twist. I
Man,
wish
that
they
was
I
ran
wish
with
that
it, though,
I
'cause we're
know.
still not
I
getting
wanted
X-Men.
mutants in there. Just put them
They're
in there
coming.
already. I
They're
know.
coming
Yeah.
with the multiverse. I think that's how they're getting coming in.
Yeah, I
the
hope
the
so.
multiverse.
My thing is, I wonder which universe they're coming from. If it would be like, so if they're doing Multiverse of Madness, they're also doing No Way Home for Spider-Man.
Yep.
So
I'm wondering
excited.
if they really are going to bring in Toby and they're going to bring in Andrew Garfield.
That's
The
the
thing is,
rumor.
if they bring in those
I hope
people, like, is Toby's universe the one that has X-Men that's going to have like fucking Frasier as Beast, or is it Andrew Garfield's line? Like, where are they coming from? Like,
Mhm.
and how many
Jesus
other people are they going to
Christ.
pull in? Because apparently Doc Ock is returning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the
So it's
original.
like-
which
So is
I
Jamie
love
Foxx.
that.
Like, okay, so there you go. You have
Mhm.
at least 2 villains that are coming back from other timelines, or sorry, other universes. We don't do timelines. That's Flash. So it's like
Universe.
when you're pulling these people, it's like, okay, well, how much of a branch are we doing? Like, can we get Jessica Alba back as the Invisible Girl? Like, who knows how far
Invisible
we can
Girl?
stretch?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the original Fantastic Four.
Original Fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Rise
The
of
OG.
Silver Surfer,
Okay,
the whole
I
deal.
was-
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. That's not,
Before, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do
Michael B. Jordan, you're awesome. I'm just gonna say that. Everything else.
Was that the worst movie
I
of all time?
so much.
I don't know about all time.
right. Oh, dude.
I watched it.
As okay.
Right when they announced
Yeah.
that they had a white Sue Storm and a black Johnny Storm.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing
What?
is, like, I understood, like,
They're adopted.
I didn't like the acting.
Adoption,
I just thought
blah,
the acting
blah.
was
It's like,
bad.
yeah, I get
The
that.
acting was terrible. The script was terrible.
It could
Doctor
have been
Doom
good.
was terrible. The special effects were terrible. Like
That I will
everything
agree with,
about that
yeah.
movie was awful.
It was a money grab. They only
I
had
was
the contract.
watching that movie and I'm like,
It was.
what in the fuck are they thinking?
It
Like,
wasn't
what are they
right.
doing?
Mhm.
Well, they were running out of time on there with their contract with the
horrible.
Fantastic Four label.
They needed to get it in.
Because they were like,
Just get
you know,
the-
we're gonna try to cash in on this Marvel shit,
It
and
was so bad.
yeah, so they spent as little amount of money as possible to make whatever they could with that, because they only had the title a little bit longer.
It's like Green Lantern all over
Terrible.
again.
Yeah.
Ugh.
See, and the thing is, like, even with Ryan Reynolds, like, he's
He couldn't even
amazing.
save that movie.
I know.
Like,
if Ryan Reynolds
he
can't save your
cried.
movie,
Like,
You are
You-
done.
you're
But it was also
not-
early Ryan Reynolds, like early Ryan Reynolds.
not early.
I don't know.
I
It was
mean,
It was pretty early.
after the proposal. and
Yeah.
that was a solid movie.
It was a solid
Yeah, but
Like,
no
Well,
one
he had
brought
to
him
make
as a superhero at that time.
no,
He wasn't in action. He wasn't in any action movies. He
Yeah.
wasn't.
it wasn't the
He-
right.
he was-
superhero.
yeah,
Like, that was him.
He's
then.
more
He's an anti-hero.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
Deadpool.
now.
He's not Green Lantern, which
Yeah.
he's too goofy and
Yeah.
sarcastic
Yeah.
and like.
Yeah,
that's
Green
his
Lantern, he
thing.
was very PG.
Yeah.
It was.
That's his thing, and that
Yeah.
was just a bad casting
Don't hate me for
choice.
this, but I think he would have made a good Spider-Man because he's also got that like witty.
He's too tall.
quippy.
He
He
would-
is.
too
He's
old.
very tall.
Yeah,
He would've-
too tall.
and this so this is the thing that Stan Lee said about Holland, is that Holland is good at playing both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. He's like, Andrew Garfield was a much better Spider-Man than Tobey was,
Mhm.
but he was way too cool.
Yeah.
Tobey was a perfect Peter Parker. He's like, Holland is the closest we've gotten to getting the merge of
both of them in one.
Yeah.
I really think
person.
like Ryan Reynolds would have been an amazing Spider-Man. Would have been a shit Peter Parker. Like,
True. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
He
would have
could
been
not-
too like
because he can't tone down. He doesn't
No.
have
No.
a button.
100% all the time.
Yeah, he's very.
So-
Yeah.
He'd just be like, Flash Thompson, fuck you. You can't say
No, no,
that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that casting would have worked with Ryan Reynolds.
I kind of hope they don't do the multiverse, man. Because when
Well,
I'm
because you're
very-
like following along with it.
no, it
It's
fucks me up.
I know.
Like I started watching, I was watching the Flash and really liking the Flash, and then when they started going to Earth One and this and this,
That's exactly where I
stopped
dropped off.
watching it. I was like, I can't.
But they're on
Too
Earth
much.
Prime now.
It's too much shit.
There's only
man.
one Earth now.
No.
Too
Council
much.
Wells.
I just don't like it. I don't like
Now there's timeless
alternate
universes.
timelines, and I just
No.
I
It's too complicated.
don't. It,
I can
it
do with a
loses
little
me.
bit of.
I'm too simple to follow that crap.
The thing is,
Yeah.
it's because there's so many shows. There's
So
well,
many.
no, Arrowverse is gone now. There were 5 or 6 running at a time.
DC.
Well, there was Arrow, Flash,
Arrow, Flash,
The,
Supergirl,
Young Justice.
Legends
Supergirl,
of Tomorrow,
Yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Black
Wasn't there a
Lightning,
Black
Black
Lightning
and then
Jessica
Batwoman.
So
and
6.
Batwoman?
So you had 6
There was
shows.
a ton of
That's
them.
where Crisis was. There was 6 different, one episode per show.
It is a crisis that there was
Like
that many
that,
shows
yeah.
on.
And it's
Well,
because
those Crisis shows were
Fox
awesome,
had-
though.
They were very
Fucking-
good. Yeah.
of the characters, right?
Those
Or
what?
is it Fox had half the characters, right? Or is it only they
Uh,
had all the Supergirl characters and
Yeah.
they had
no, Warner Brothers.
or Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers has
Who
pretty
has
much
them now?
everyone.
CW has them now.
CW.
Yes.
All of
They own all
So
of them.
now they're in Earth Prime. Now everything makes sense.
And now they got the Superman and Lois.
Well, it used to be on CBS.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it. I heard it's pretty good.
Supergirl used to be on CBS.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it used to
Mhm.
be on CBS. That used because it used to be on a whole totally different universe
Yeah,
until Supergirl because they got canceled,
Bridge, right?
and then CW picked them up. It's like, oh fuck it, we're putting them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Throw 'em in
that's
there.
how that happened.
And then Arrow, I thought Arrow was a great show.
It
and
was.
then when they started dying, and then throw them in the Lazarus
Solid.
pit, bring
No.
them back to
Yeah.
life. I'm just like, okay, I'm done.
It was solid.
I hate when they like do a shocking kill of somebody, and then they bring it back
Oh,
2
just
shows
kidding,
later.
they're
and you're
alive.
like, oh my
No. Let them
That's
Actually,
die.
lame.
I feel like it's because they get so much backlash from the fans. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cares.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Oh yeah, fan favorites.
But don't kill them in the
Just-
first place.
Or leave them dead. Just be like, we've made our choice.
But
Well,
that was a cool
like-
show. I mean, they had a lot of like obscure villains, and I
Yeah.
liked all that shit.
Well, it was
Like
dark
Huntress.
too.
Yeah,
Arrow was
and
dark.
gritty.
Yeah.
Flash is brighter.
Yeah, they had a great contrast.
Yeah. But then you got DC movies who
Ugh.
they're trying to
Ooh.
they try to
Did y'all
cross
see
in with.
Suicide Squad yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What'd you think?
I didn't watch it yet.
I liked it.
I already
thing
know what
is-
to
I
expect,
liked
but
it. I thought it was
You
better
cast-
than Birds of Prey. I thought the
Yeah.
acting was better. I thought like the charisma between the cast was better.
Yeah.
think it
I
was
thought
good.
I
Weasel
definitely
was
liked
a
it better
weird
than the
best
first one.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know what's up with the Weasel. Like
The thing is,
they
like,
made this
I
big
know-
deal about him at the beginning,
Yeah, I
and
know
then they
nothing
killed
about
him
his
in
character
like
either.
2 seconds.
Like I know nothing about his character from like any.
I don't
like,
either.
I
No idea.
barely
I didn't know
touched
any of
that
those
in
characters.
years. Yeah.
Like hardly any of them.
Polka Dot Man.
So
Polka Dot
that
Man.
was
Actually,
really-
Polka Dot
This
Man
was
was
my
the funniest one.
Yeah.
Like when he kept envisioning his mom,
Mhm.
like laughing so hard.
So the funny thing is like there's Polka Dot Man for DC. There's also there's the Spot who is a Spider-Man villain,
Mhm.
and their powers like you see them both like character design wise like yeah their powers are probably the same. They're wildly different. Polka Dot Man, they're explosive. They can literally like dematerialize upon impact. Spot literally just can pull spots off of himself, and they're interdimensional portals where he can just like
That's
shift his hand
cool.
through here and his hand pops up there.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Oh.
really cool that they're wildly different. I'm like, your character design is exactly the same, except you're monochromatic in your color, and apparently color kills you. So that's fun.
Color
Like,
means death. It's like
it's
poisonous
really
frogs.
weird. Yeah, like
Color-
poisonous
color
frogs. The
means
more
death.
colorful, the more dead.
Yeah. The more death.
So
Now, when you
know.
say poisonous frogs, are those the ones that you can lick and get high off?
Dark
of?
frogs.
no, those are totally different.
Yeah.
Oh, those are toads.
Those
Never
are
mind.
Toads.
The
Do
ones in
not
the
lick a
Amazon
poisonous
jungle.
snake.
The little colorful frogs. That,
What was that from? Family Guy when they were licking toads?
So
Oh my
Family
God,
Guy-
yeah.
Okay, so they actually took that from a movie called Big Trouble with Tim Allen. That was like a '90s movie. I
You just had
showed
me watch
her.
that recently. It
Uh,
was so funny.
One of the main plot twists for the movie is that there's a dog that wants to eat its food, and there's also one of those rare toads that also wants its food, and it sprays the dog with this neurotoxin, and the dog
dog
chases
gets
its own
high.
tail all the time and gets high, but keeps on coming back because it's like, one, it's my food, and two, hi. So literally gets high all the time. And then one of the characters gets sprayed also and sees some hallucinogenic stuff, which is amazing. I don't want to say what it is because I want
It's
you to go
really
watch
funny.
it. It's really funny.
Watch it.
that's funny.
You can watch it on YouTube for free, and it's just like a little bit
What's it
off
called?
to the left. Big Trouble.
Big trouble.
Big Trouble.
Big trouble.
It's
Yeah.
a solid movie.
It's a really good cast too. Like it's a big cast.
Oh, interesting. I've never even heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the dude who plays Kronk, who
Oh, yeah.
voices Kronk. I'm garbage at names.
Warburton, I think his name is.
So
I do not
he's-
do names
he's
either.
one
I'm
of the
like,
main
yeah, that
people.
guy.
Patrick Warburton.
Warburton. Yeah.
Warburton. Okay.
I didn't know his first name. I was like, Warburton.
Yeah.
I'll go with
Patrick
it.
Warburton.
Well, his name sounds like
was,
his voice. Warburton.
He was Putty. He was Putty in Seinfeld.
I didn't watch Seinfeld. I was never a fan of Seinfeld. It was a show about nothing.
Oh my god.
Show about nothing. I
One of the
can't.
funniest
I
shows
can't
ever on
like.
TV.
Technically, all shows are
The only reason I actually watched them, it had to deal with the Yankees. Literally, well, that's the literally only
Anyway,
redeeming
he
quality.
was
Lane's hat.
boyfriend. He was like a dumbass, like
Yep.
mechanic.
Big old
Okay,
himbo.
so he's typecasted. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
much.
his. That's his
That's his
wheelhouse. Yeah.
So it's Saturday or Sunday. We're just sitting on the couch board. I'm like flipping through Amazon Prime, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I ever saw Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox.
What?
Neither have I.
And
There's two of them.
I
Isn't
won't
there?
judge.
Not with my.
I watched it.
You're not alone.
What a terrible fucking movie.
I don't think it was meant
Like
to be
it
good,
was
honestly.
terrible. And I understand it was supposed to be like
Can't
goofy and
Cornball.
campy,
Yeah.
but
Well, because that's what
It
all the
had
movies were made back
no-
then.
Yeah.
All the movies
no
were made
redeeming-
just like that.
no redeeming
I loved
qualities
it, but
at
it was
all.
bad.
But
It sucked.
for the time it was made, and
It was still bad. Even for 19 there's a lot of 80s movies that I freaking love, like Back to the Future. There's one like that was
Mhm.
amazing.
Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like there's a lot of fun high school movies that were hilarious
That's
and
not one of them.
well done. And Teen Wolf was just shit.
I feel
Like,
I
they didn't
need
even
to
really-
torture myself.
Like I'm like the beginning of the movie, he's like, I guess going through like puberty or something, and he had like this long hair in his chest, and
One.
yeah, and he
Okay.
pulls it out, and he's like discovering like some powers that he has and stuff. And then like one day he's playing basketball, and there's like a scrum on the ground, and like all these people are piled on him, and he goes raw, and he's a wolf, and you're just like, what?
What?
The fuck? Like, why is he a werewolf? It's weird.
Funny.
And then it comes out that his dad was a werewolf, and it's like a family trait, and he hoped that it would skip a generation, but it didn't.
Okay.
And
Okay,
it was just stupid. I'm like, why didn't they have this guy be attacked at the beginning by a werewolf? That would have made
I'm
way
pretty sure
more
I
sense.
made you watch it, and you know what happened? You fell asleep.
He was a basketball
halfway
player.
through.
I fell asleep all.
Yeah, he was
They-
a basketball
did they
player.
have
I never
a
watched it.
lightsaber fight using a halogen light bulb.
No,
No,
wrong.
I'm
one.
wondering if that's a TV show or something.
totally wrong.
There is a TV show called Teen
That
Wolf.
might have been.
There
that
is.
might have
It's
been-
a-
Yeah,
TV,
that,
right?
that might,
I heard that was
It's a
better.
TV show.
I heard that was pretty
I
good.
heard it
That
was really
was
good,
good.
Yeah.
but I never saw it.
I could just be remembering things wrong. I have weird dreams. Could have been one of those. Who knows?
Yeah, that is weird.
But Teen Wolf was terrible. So
I see
to
your shorts
wash,
is bigger than. Is
so
bigger
to
than
wash,
mine.
to wash Teen Wolf out of my brain, I watched Men at Work with Charlie. Sheen
Oh,
and
yeah,
Emilio
yeah, with the
Estevez,
dump-
where they find the dead body in
yeah,
the trash.
yeah, I like that. That movie's
That
fun.
movie was actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, Teen Wolf. was
I love those
a pile of shit.
older movies. Like I every once in a while I pick one up and just watch it. I don't know. I look on Hulu for one of
Yeah,
those 80s
I'll
80s
yeah,
do that
movies.
random.
They got a
just
lot of them.
randomly find something.
Oh yeah.
We just did the Fear Street movies.
Yeah, those are
literally we
Oh
just
my
binged them
God.
1, 2, 3. Like
so good.
solid plot.
Yeah,
the
they
whole
were
way
badass.
through. The callbacks
Mhm.
were perfect. Like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like
I loved like
even
right at the
blood
beginning.
didn't
I'm
have
like, scream! Let's
Yeah.
scream!
Yep.
I loved all the references to other movies, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I
It
thought
was
that
very
was really,
well
really
done.
good.
Yeah.
A couple of the characters, I was kind of like, yeah, I don't really think I like this person. But I mean, the stories were on point. The gore
Yeah.
was on point.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, and the blood color.
I was
perfect,
surprised. I'm
which
like,
was really
R.L.
nice.
Stein,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
going hard with this.
The bread slicer was badass.
Oh, that was my
Yes.
favorite. That was my favorite kill. I did not see that
I
coming.
hadn't seen that before.
It was
I
awesome.
don't think I've seen a bread slicer death.
I've seen
No,
meat.
me
I've
either.
seen meat grinder. I've never seen bread
Yeah.
slicer.
Yeah, I saw it.
I've seen wood chipper.
There's a
Wood chipper,
movie.
yeah.
There's a movie on Hulu right now called. Shit.
No, I don't
It's
think
a
it was
it's
called
a high
I've
school
seen
serial
it.
killer. That, these people are in detention, and somebody's going around killing all the
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, I know what you're talking
Boy Meets World.
about.
I've seen that episode.
Oh, I
And,
have-
to-
somebody gets their head chopped
Jennifer
off.
Hewitt.
Somebody gets their head chopped off with the paper slicer. and
Yeah,
I was
That's
like,
a good one.
freaking awesome! Like it was so
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, you have to. You're doing a horror movie in a school.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
do one of
Freaking
those.
awesome.
Limited options for death.
Right.
But with
But
the
it was actually a pretty good movie. I can't remember the damn name of it.
it might have been just called Detention. But
No, that's another
too
shitty
simple.
movie. That had the greatest. Detention had the greatest opening sequence, and the movie was terrible
It's because
after
they
that.
spent
Terrible.
the budget.
Yeah,
on
their
the
whole
opening.
budget went on the opening.
yeah, that never happens. Like movies blow their carte blanche
Yeah,
on the first 5 minutes, and then
Yeah,
the rest of it
the opening
sucks.
scene and then like the credits roll. The credit roll was amazing, and then the movie just went off the cliff after that.
Okay.
Right when they say directed by so and so,
Done.
I was
So
into
the
it.
director screwed the movie. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screw
Good
the
job.
pooch. Screw the pooch. But with Fear Street, what do you think was your favorite element of it? Because it was telling vastly different stories
Oh yeah.
At the
Which
same
year
time,
which one did you like the
within
best?
the story.
Which year?
So I actually like the second one the best.
The
The
70s one.
78?
That's a
Yeah.
camp.
Yeah.
Same.
the callback.
I think that was the same camp as they shot Friday the 13th.
I
Probably.
thought it
two.
looked familiar. I was like, I've
I don't know
seen
if it
I've
was-
seen this before.
Was it 2? Or
No, it was. No, I don't remember.
It was one of the Friday the 13th.
Says
I
the
thought
guy.
it was
Something,
2.
yeah.
It might
I
have
was
been
like, this
like.
looks
I thought it was the
later
one with Tommy Jarvis when he came back. I thought it was that one, which was
Oh yeah, when they went to when you thought all the kids were gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was that one.
6,
it might have been
5,
six.
6. Jason Lives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason Live. So I think it was. I think
Yeah.
that
so
was
they
the one.
shot
We
this.
do have
That was
them
the
all.
same camp they shot that at, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah. But the kids actually died in Fear Street.
Yeah.
1978.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
They
I
didn't show
didn't
the
expect
deaths.
them to do that though.
Yeah, I was okay. I will
Fuck
say
the
I was
kids.
glad they didn't.
They showed body. No, they
kids
showed
being
body
chopped
parts.
up.
They showed body parts, but they
the
didn't
initial,
show
like,
them
kill, like,
Oh.
killed.
actually,
Yeah.
The teenagers got killed, like the little kids, like they didn't show them. I'm like, that was classy. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like not
You got the
showing,
after
like not
effect, but
showing
not-
an animal being killed. Like that's to me, that's nice. You can have an animal that dies, fine. If it's a sacrifice, that makes sense. But like John Wick,
It's
like
a
the ultimate
sacrifice.
thing,
It's
like,
okay.
just don't touch the dog. Like, come on,
I know.
I
Yeah.
hate that. That pisses me off.
Well, they
Well,
did it
you
in
got his
Halloween. Halloween, he
Yeah.
actually straight like
Choked the dog out.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
but all you saw was the dog's legs.
Right. And you heard.
Still pet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the noise would be the pass.
Yeah, that's what gets me.
Yeah,
I gotta like
that's
plug
too
my
much.
ears, and look
Now,
away.
my favorite kill in Fear Street 78 was the first axe kill when he just like exploded on his face.
Yeah.
It was so gruesome.
Yeah.
That was
Like,
awesome.
oh my god.
That was my favorite kill of the entire show.
I think they did such a great job with. I think the sound effects and the blood like
It was
splatter like
perfectly
yeah.
timed.
it was
Everything
good,
was
man.
perfect.
Like they did a really good job with
I
the
like
gore.
so all of the axe impacts, like there was a really harsh crunch.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a
With it. Like,
like
Normally
a
it's like a sheen.
splattering
It was
sound
a
too.
Yeah, no, there was a thud. It's like no, there's
Yeah.
bone in there, which most
Oh, yeah.
like most of them it's like like noise.
No.
There's some
be
in
crunchy.
there.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite ones was when the girl got her hand cut off, and they were like hitting it, like she was in that cave.
oh
trying
the
to get out.
witch. Yeah.
And they started hacking her hand off, and you just saw it like coming off.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah,
like,
it was
crazy.
slow.
It was so,
like, they took their time with it. I was like, all right.
Yeah, she was screaming.
Yep.
Yeah,
Put some money into that.
yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, so I actually wasn't a fan. Like I understand the practical function of it is probably to save money using the same actors in each year.
Mhm.
I actually didn't like that the main actress from the first two was the witch through.
I didn't understand.
storyline.
I didn't understand why
Like why
the
would you just let
people
it
were
play
in
out?
the witch era, like
she
the
was
1600s.
she was seeing her friends as she was reliving the
Yeah.
witch's dream.
like-
she was seeing her friends
As
as the
those
people.
people?
As the
Yeah.
people she was interacting with. It's like, oh, I'm relating
Does
to you
that
on a
make sense?
personal level, so now I can avenge you.
That makes more
Because
sense.
otherwise, she
'cause,
wouldn't give
like,
a shit.
For me watching it, I'm like, that is a person of color. You would not be not free in this setting.
Right.
So how
Yeah,
are you
that-
here? That makes a lot
It
more
was in
sense.
1666. Nobody
Yeah,
was free
no.
at all of any kind then.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually like that they did it, but
Okay.
I just don't like period movies in general. So
All right,
I don't
that's
like
me either.
going back, like, because it's either way too much like heavily religion, or
Yes.
it's definitely a witch trial. So it's like,
Which it was.
So how it was, yeah.
Yeah, like
that
it
was a
was
very
exactly what it
gross
was. I like
just
the witch
time
stuff.
period.
But so
Yeah.
like any movie like that in the past is one of those two. Like no
Yeah.
matter what it is, it's one of those two, and it's just I see it too much too often. It's
it's
predictable.
very overdone.
But
yeah.
then we knew it was already gonna be a witch, so I'm just like, ugh.
Watch
okay.
the
Here we
witch.
go. Yeah, the witch was good.
She was awesome.
Yeah.
I just don't like witch movie, like, because there's no boundaries. Like you could literally do anything with any spell. Like it's like there's only
There's
like
no cutoff.
yeah.
Good enough.
So like you could have full imagination, but at the same time, like it's too OP. Like regular people, like it just kills it for me. I don't know anything with witch or witchcraft or
Yeah.
like superpowers or
Unlimited possibilities.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry. So sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's my qualm with those type of
Don't like witches.
witches.
I feel like you have some built up resentment from
Yeah.
past movies.
Yeah. I feel like
Like
there's
That's
cutting your
what it
freaking
is.
head off.
Not that I can think of.
For some reason.
Not that I can. I just don't like being able to predict movies. I just don't like it. I tell him all the time. It was predictable at the end. Like,
Well, watch Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, right.
Very non-predictable.
I haven't seen it yet, but
You
I
see
want
that?
to see it. Not yet.
I'm saying
Well,
if
It's on Disney
if
Plus.
Indiana Jones and Jack Sparrow had a baby, it
That's
would
what
be
it would
Jungle
be.
Cruise. Like,
Okay.
I'm all for
I'm
that.
down for that.
but it was so weird. It was very.
But how do you
weird.
make a
I mean, it
movie
was
about a ride?
Like it was a
Yeah.
pretty movie, and
It's not a
There's
very
some cool
exciting
action.
ride. Like,
Played Jumanji.
Yeah, it's
on
not
the
an-
ride.
It's
See
not
what
an
pops out.
exciting ride to begin with. How do you make a
Yeah.
fucking movie?
I mean,
out
it
of
was a
Jungle
cool.
Cruise?
It was a lot of action, and it was pretty to look
it, was a
at.
lot, it looked like a lot of outside elements. That's
The
how they
Rock
made it.
was just like, you know how The Rock is, just like charismatic,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's The Rock. This guy, I don't know who it was, but it wasn't The Rock.
It wasn't.
Funny. Okay.
It was just like he was really flat and just kind of
Huh.
meh.
Do you think? Okay. So do you think they wrote?
I didn't like the story.
They wrote too much for Emily Blunt then. Like,
Emily
they
Blunt
made
was
it,
great.
like-
Maybe.
Yeah, she
I
was
mean,
awesome.
she's-
Oh, I mean, the movie's about
Yeah.
Emily Blunt. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
They were like, you can't outshine her. You have to.
Emily Blunt is Indiana Jones. Like,
Okay.
that is completely a ripoff
Okay.
of Indiana Jones.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
love
she was
Emily
good.
Blunt.
She's got a brother in the movie who's entertaining, but The Rock was just like
Just not hitting it.
flat.
Was he
Like,
just
they
the
just-
sidekick? Was he just the sidekick?
I mean, she hires him to take her somewhere.
tour
He's
guy,
a
right?
he's a boat. He's a boat captain.
Okay.
and she hires him to take her somewhere, and that's the adventurer.
Oh, well, they just
But-
got him for the name then.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean anybody could play. You could have played that role.
I don't think so.
But he's
I would for that amount of money. I would love to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
he just
Put me on a
wasn't
boat.
good. Like he was
Put me on
like
a boat.
like at the beginning, he's taking all these people on a tour of the river or whatever, and he keeps cracking these like corny jokes.
Dad
Yeah.
jokes.
Oh, it was so stupid, man. It was just like, just stop, please. And everybody on the boat was like, stop, please.
I wonder.
Well,
I
it's
wonder
like
if
the
they-
jokes from when you're actually on the ride.
Yeah,
when they
I
tell
wonder
the
if
Yeah.
that's why they did that.
Is that why they
It's
did it?
like, It's like, oh, remember
probably.
how
Callback.
bad the ride is?
Yeah.
It's here in
Yeah.
huge screen depth. Like,
You're
take it all
seeing
in.
real time.
But
Out of all the movies
I
that were
don't know.
made from a Disney ride, that is not my favorite.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. You can do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was any others that they made a ride of. Dumbo, but I think the ride came after.
No, the ride came
Dumbo.
after.
Yeah.
Right after.
I
I think it's gone now, isn't it? Or do they
Oh.
still have Dumbo?
I don't
Sure.
know.
No,
I
the
haven't been to
Disney World
Disney
Now
is
in
it's
long.
just a spinning
while.
thing and the Dumbos go up.
Yeah. That's the only one I
That's
knew.
the gift of Darth Vader on the Dumbo
Yes.
ride. That's
That's
the,
from.
yeah, the little kid ride.
Which kudos for them for sneaking in a Darth Vader costume.
They didn't have
in
to
a Disney.
sneak. The kids probably begged them to put him. They want to be with
Maybe.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion.
Mm.
Star Wars and Disney has ruined Disney World.
Yeah,
That's
is
not-
it just Star Wars World now?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah,
I need to go to Disney.
I figured that was gonna happen. They just built a hotel.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah.
But it ruined my favorite park there. Like
Really?
Yeah, Hollywood Studios. They
Mhm.
ruined that
They
park.
took over.
Interesting.
I feel like they should have made their
I like
own
Hollywood
separate whole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
separate
that was my favorite. And then
Yeah.
as soon as Star Wars moved in,
Yep, that's all it is.
fuck, it just went
we
downhill.
tend to take over. We
So
are
why didn't they just make Star Wars World
It's
and leave
owned-
Hollywood
I know.
Studios
Yeah.
alone?
Yeah.
Disney.
It was
Disney
probably
absolutely could have
cheaper.
afforded. They could have afforded to make it their own Star Wars
And-
World. We
and
would
they
have
would have.
paid for it.
Yeah.
With our blood, sweat, and tears. Star Wars fans,
true.
we're insane.
Is Islands of Adventure still a thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's in Universal.
Because Marvel is
Barely.
owned by Disney now.
Yes, but that Islands of Adventure is comic books. They own the comic rights for
Gotcha.
that. So that's why Islands of Adventure is very comic book heavy. You
Right.
see all the comic book stuff because that's what
Yep.
the licenses they have. But
Gotcha.
they only have it for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Disney
what
will
they're.
snatch it up. I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, their contract is pretty much done because they were with Sony because although that
Right.
Spider-Man was with Sony, so
Yep.
that's coming. So as soon as they snatch that up, I don't know what Islands
Interesting.
Adventure is going to be, but I mean, there's directions that they can do.
I mean, Paramount Plus will probably take over.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
we'll have
never
an
know.
evil ride. That would be probably
be down for
amazing.
Well, they'll probably just go to a different comic book.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe Dark Horse Comics will sell out.
Image.
Yeah.
We'll
I
get
don't
a
know.
Spawn ride.
Well, but Islands of
Ooh.
The thing
Adventure.
is, I'd be down for that. Like,
Do Image, you can do Invincible.
Didn't they
right?
redo
Ooh.
Spawn? Didn't they redo Spawn
Um,
recently?
I don't know if they.
Not recently, but
I don't know
started
if they
to.
redid it or if they were going to and it bombed.
Yeah,
'cause
I remember hearing stuff. I'm like,
I don't know. Todd McFarlane's very. I'm trying to think of a word that doesn't make him sound like more of a dick.
no, he's a dick.
Okay, he's wildly possessive of his stuff, so
Yeah.
it's not like anything that he creates or any characters of his that are
mine, I
used,
made
he
it.
has to have final say. It's like trying to say that Stan Lee can't tell you what to do with Spider-Man. It's that serious of a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I honestly think it was either him that tanked it or was just straight up just COVID. Just they couldn't get people
yeah.
A
to
little bit of
get
both.
to do it. Which sucks.
Well, it's kind of like the whole situation with Friday the 13th, why they weren't making any more games and
Fucking
movies,
joke.
and because like,
They've been in
dude, just let
court
it go.
They've
Yeah.
been in court for like 10 years.
Like, just let it go. You know, they want to make
insane.
money. They're gonna throw you some money. Like, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up and make some money because you're not doing anything with it. You're
Right.
just holding onto it.
All you're doing is arguing.
Hold on
over
to it and do nothing or make money.
no,
Ex-
someone
like,
someone
what
just
a
needs to make
choice.
like Friday the 14th and be like,
There you go.
It's not yours
Well, that's
anymore.
Saturday
it's
the
mine.
14th.
it's not Jason's,
Oh,
Jason
is that
Home.
Jason
French now.
Oh.
Comes in with a cleaver.
well, he did the cleaver thing, and
Did he?
yeah, he did the cleaver.
See,
He's
I
picked
need
up
to,
multiple
we
things
bought
to
them
do the stabby
the
stabby.
entire collection on DVD. It's like 8 movies, and I'm like,
What are we
need to
talking
watch
about?
The Friday the 13th
Oh.
movies. So like
10.
There's 10.
I'm missing
Actually, there's
2
11.
collections.
Oh, yeah,
There
12.
probably are.
Collections.
Actually, there's 12.
There's a lot
There
of them.
needs to be 13 because that would just make it
Because there's
make sense.
10 movies,
Is that
and
what
then
they're
you
trying
got
to do?
Freddy vs.
Probably.
Jason, and you got
Probably.
the reboot.
Oh yeah,
I don't-
yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know if the crossovers are part of the collection that we bought.
What collection
the
is
Freddy
it?
or-
It was
The one in the box set.
no, it was a single wide
Screen
box that was
Factory.
from Walmart. It was a single
Oh,
wide box.
gotcha.
It was like
That's
the
probably
8 movie
why.
collection from
Yeah.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Probably just doesn't have
They don't have all of
You're
them.
like, it's
Okay,
the full
that's fine.
collection. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
they're
seen Pretty
missing.
Rich Jason.
They're
That
missing
was
9 and
good.
10
Okay.
on that. I think it's a red cover. With
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. They're missing 9 and 10. I used to have that.
Okay.
But I bought the
Not bad about it.
Scream Factory came out with a box set that had all of it in there.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
Let's trade
I
that
just
in.
bought all of them individually. Like I have like 2 part 3s because one of them's 3D. One's,
Yeah.
like,
that's cool.
and I have the 3D
Like,
glasses.
really?
that-
3D?
That's how
Red
old
and
I
blue,
am.
Like the Scion glasses, like the red and blue
Uh-huh.
glasses.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
how old I am. I saw that in the theater.
That's
Friday the
awesome.
13th 3 in 3D.
That's
Of
awesome.
course,
It was
we know
pretty
you're
badass.
old. We know you're old. Like you don't need to emphasize
The
it.
thing is,
I'm jealous about it. I think that's awesome.
I wish
Like,
they would
Same.
re-release
now,
that.
now, was it shocking when TVs went to color? No, just
Actually, I saw the creature from the Black Lagoon
Okay.
in black and white in 3D on TV.
How did that
That's
You
look?
had it was cool because they would advertise it and they said go to Circle K to get your 3D glasses.
That's so
So you went to
cool.
Circle
Great.
K and asked for the glasses and they'd give you the glasses and we were all at my house watching Creature
Oh,
from the Black
man.
Lagoon.
But
in
I
3D.
just can't imagine a black and white movie in 3D.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean-
It does because
It was
to
weird.
do 3D you need like
You
those
need the-
color.
The color show.
Well, they had it was
one gray, another.
it was
gray.
black and white, but you could see the blue and red color in it.
Oh,
was really
it
weird.
It was
Like an
almost
overlay.
like sepia tone.
Yeah, and
Huh.
Mm.
the cool thing is I went to a estate sale one day and they had a whole bin full of comic books and I'm going through them and they had a waxwork 3D comic book. So I bought it. It was like $1. I bought it and it had the Creature from the Black Lagoon 3D glasses in it. I was
Nice.
like, what?
Yeah, that's a find.
Bonus! It was freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
So I
Were
thought
they
it was
made
cool.
exactly the same way?
Yeah, they were the
No, the
ones from
original,
the
the
show.
glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it had the creature on it, and
That's
he was
dope.
like his arms were the side part.
Yeah.
That goes
And where are
missing.
these
It
glasses
wasn't-
now?
They're at my house.
Field trip.
Really
Nice.
cool.
Keep it under lock.
Nice. I love little collector stuff like that. Like stuff from when we were kids. Like we find something from when we were kids and it's
Right.
still like that quality. Like 'cause
Yeah,
they
I
don't
know.
make the good quality. Like when they try to remake that shit,
Yeah,
it's always
shit.
crap.
It's
Like
shit.
that
I wish I still
thin
had the
plastic-
Friday the 13th glasses. That
Yeah.
would be badass.
Yeah, I had them on my DVD. Oh, the
The
original.
ones from the theater.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I got the ones from the original DVD.
I used to
Really.
save those, like just take them
Yeah.
home and have like a whole drawer full of them for no reason.
Oh yeah.
But they had character back then. Like they were paper and they had like design,
Yeah.
movie design on them and stuff. Now you just get the black,
Yeah.
stupid ones.
Boring.
They're the hipster glasses.
Yeah. See, 3D used to give me a headache.
Yeah.
Like the rides in Disney or Universal, like the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like I have to take them off because they give me a headache a little bit, and then I got to put
Yep.
them on.
Yeah.
It's really weird how they do it. Like
I remember when I was a kid, they started coming out with 3D movies, and the first one that they released was called Parasite. It was Parasite 3D. It had Demi Moore in it. Like she was super young. I mean, this had to have been, God, 1981 maybe,
yeah.
80, 81. And the 3D was freaking crazy. Like it's different back then. The 3D was more like shit flying at you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now it's just pretty much for depth. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
They're like, there's sports.
But, I had never seen a 3D movie before, so we're sitting there and somebody gets thrown through a window and the glass is coming at you,
Oh, yeah.
and there was
That's
glass
cool.
bouncing on the seat in front of me, and I'm like, what the?
That's
so cool.
I think the first time I saw 3D was like Terminator 2.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
One to see in 3D.
And there was another kill. This guy was fighting this other guy, and he took a pipe and stuck it through his stomach into the fence,
Okay.
and the pipe's like sitting right in front of you, and then just like blood starts coming out of it. It
Yes.
was freaking awesome.
So good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they don't do it like that.
And then in Friday the 13th, they had all the gags, you know, the
Like, oh my
yo-yo and the,
Yeah.
the raid coming at you and all
That's
that
so
stuff.
cool.
Well, he
was
also
fun.
did the spear.
Yeah, the spear.
It was
Mm.
like right in her eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Didn't she come to
Catherine Parks, yeah.
She was at
She was
the
at Tampa Bay Springs.
Really?
Nice.
I think she was there 2 or 3 years in a row.
Damn.
I don't-
I got an autograph from her. With
She
the
was at
arrow in her
Swap
eye.
Shop?
No, she
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
at the
I was gonna
swap
say
shop.
I didn't. I know I would look
No.
for her.
No.
Um,
And it was funny because Sean calls me and like last week, and he's like, "Did you realize that Catherine Parks is the first kill with Jason with the mask?" I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like she was at your thing? Like
Yeah.
yes,
How did
Yes.
you not
like
know
how
this?
do you
Are
not
you-
know this?" You're like, "I never even realized it till now." I'm like, That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's fantastic.
That's what I thought was so cool that he got her as a guest. I'm like, she's the first
had
kill
no
with
idea.
his mask on. Like,
He was like, okay.
yeah, the spear
Oh,
gun.
that's nice.
I said he went in the freaking barn and killed the
Yeah.
guy that was the prankster.
Yep.
And took his spear gun and took his mask. And then it just stuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally.
Yeah,
He saved a fortune on makeup. So
yeah they did.
Yeah.
Well, Shelly. Shelly was his
Shelly,
name.
right.
He was actually my favorite character in the
That's my
entire
favorite one. I like part 3 the best.
series. Yeah. I don't know which one
It's
I like the
entertaining.
best. I think
Actually, part 3's got some scary stuff in it, man. Like when
Yeah.
he's hanging in the barn, just hanging there, and
Yeah.
the lady's like kind of looking at him, trying to get around him, and then
Yeah.
he gets off, and he's
Pardon
like
me,
coming
sir.
at her with his hands.
Ooh.
It's a freaking,
yeah.
it's a scary movie. And it's got all the goofy gimmicks in it from the 3D, but
Yeah.
as a movie, I thought it was a cool.
I think my favorite was 6. Jason Lives.
6 is a good one too.
I think Jason Lives was my favorite.
That's my favorite.
which one is Jason Goes to Hell?
The
9.
worst fucking one.
Yeah.
Worst.
Don't say that in my presence.
Ugh.
It was so bad.
What a train wreck.
Oh
I
my.
just mean,
Again, I'm watching that movie. I'm just like,
is that like 7?
Don't.
7?
that's 9.
It's 9.
9.
Jason Goes
It's
to
one of the
Hell
ones
is
that's
9.
not in the set.
And then 10 is in space.
Yeah.
No.
I've seen that was
It's in space.
Jason.
I've watched that one
X,
too many
right?
times
That
because
one's-
you like to watch that one.
That okay.
That one's fun.
love-
That
It's
one's
a
fun.
shitty movie, but it's fun.
It's fun, but I don't like it.
Room.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Danger Room from X-Men. I'm like, I can get behind this. This is something I grew up with. And she's like, you just like the boobs. I'm like, and yes,
And
Right.
that's not a negative.
And
No,
it does
like,
have one of the best kills ever with the nitro, with the
Yeah.
the
Yeah, no, check
free shit, and he smashes her
Nitrous.
face
Yeah.
with the nitrous.
Oh no, he also does the sleeping bag kill.
Yeah, that's a good
I like
one.
that one too.
That's a
Yeah.
good one. So let me ask you guys a question. So we were just talking about this the other day. So we've realized that horror movies nowadays don't, like back in the 80s, it was all about tits and killing girls. Like that
Yeah.
was basically it.
Yep.
Nowadays, it's kind of morphed into more girl power and
Definitely.
no nudity. And if there's any nudity, it's usually male nudity now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you guys like, which formula do you like better?
So I honestly wish that it would be like Game of Thrones with horror. Like I like equal opportunity nudity.
Yes.
I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Equal
male nudity.
opportunity
It's like-
nudity.
Okay, so actually the first movie that I ever auditioned for you guys, I auditioned for a role. It was full frontal male nudity, but the thing is, it wasn't a sex scene because back then
It's just nude.
that's not something I wanted.
You
to
sure
do.
that just wasn't the casting
Like-
couch in Sean's house?
No, I know
Take
that.
him off,
couch,
big
no.
boy. Take him
Uh,
off.
So I've never had a problem with that. My problem is like if you go all one direction or all one other direction, someone's always getting left out. That's why I feel like Game of Thrones hit it on the head. It's like
Yeah,
you got
both.
both. Almost
Heavily.
every episode, something's happening, either boobs, peeing, whatever. But like, yeah, it's like almost every like horror movie now, like the girl always wins, which good for you.
Mhm.
They're not like blindly running up the stairs anymore, you know. But yeah, it's taken like a complete opposite turn,
Right.
and
And I think
I kind of want it in the middle. Like I want both. I want
right.
to see.
And
like,
now, I mean, most horror movies now, like, there's no nudity at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I
You
think,
get like a little flash of boob. or
and as
something.
much as I love Scream, I think that's when it started.
killed. Yeah,
Kind of killed the '80s vibe of horror movies.
because they made
'Cause there
made
was-
fun of it.
There was like,
Well,
So you had the
they made it
80s.
serious. They made it serious again. They made
Yeah.
it more
well,
of
Scream
a.
wasn't serious at all. Like it was
No, it
It
was,
was meant
jokes
to be
and
spooky.
goofy
Yeah.
and
but it was
campy. I mean,
But it was actually one of the first. It went back to really being scary. Like
Right.
it was.
Yeah,
I
you were, you
Yeah.
were worried.
Somatic,
but what
yeah.
you know, the '80s had hundreds and hundreds of horror movies
Yeah.
in it, and they were all the same.
It's the
Like
same formula. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
mass killer
Or
or
maybe
whatever,
they got-
going around stalking
Yeah.
high school or college girls, showing tits, and slashing them up.
Yep.
And then it turned into. Then it went away. Like there were
Yeah.
no horror
Completely.
movies in the early '90s. Like there was none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the horror genre was dead. And then Scream
Wasn't that when
came out
Columbine
and
happened?
literally brought it back.
Wasn't Columbine in early '90s?
I
I wonder if maybe like some like or any of those kind of events maybe
I mean,
trigger them
possibly.
to stop
I
making
don't know. I think just people stopped watching
Stuff.
it.
Yeah.
And
There's
then
no bad real
you know, and then Scream brought it back.
Yeah.
Brought the horror genre back. And
but
then,
without boobs.
then it was just like everybody wanted to be Scream again. Like
Yeah.
make Scream. You had I Know What You Did Last Summer. You had
Yep.
Urban Legends. Like they were all like the same
Joyride.
type of movie. Final Destination. Like they
Yeah.
were all like
Yeah.
a group of people that were trying to stop a killer or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty cast. It was
Yeah,
Yep.
and they were all good
It
looking.
was
You know,
aesthetic.
yeah.
but now it's like I don't even like now, and I think woke culture now has gotten into horror movies because all the recent ones, Fear Street is
Yeah.
one of them. Wrong Turn, the new Wrong Turn,
Haven't
the
seen
new
it
Black
yet.
Christmas. All these movies, they have to have a white person, a black person, an Asian person, a transgender, a homosexual.
Yeah.
You know, they have to have all of these
You need
people
the
in the movies
inclusivity.
now.
Everything.
Yeah.
And it's everything. Like every movie is
Yeah.
crazy. I was watching. Have you seen the new American Horror Stories? They're like short,
The
like
one
20.
on Hulu,
they're
right?
like 30, 40
I haven't-
minutes.
I
Yeah,
haven't watched
I
that
haven't
yet.
seen
they're
Yeah.
actually really good.
Okay.
But again, the first two episodes, the girls lives with two dads. They're gay,
Okay.
and she's like thinks she's a lesbian, and she starts like
Okay.
getting with a girl, and then her best
Yep.
friend is a transgender. And then that's the first two episodes. And then
Yeah.
the next episode, there's another transgender in it. And then like it's just like it's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got nothing against transgender
No, yeah.
or home or gay or
But what if
whatever.
that's
I don't
the direction
care.
this world's going in now?
But it's just kind of
Yeah.
like it's weird that they have to like it's all inclusive. Every movie now has to be all inclusive.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. I'm like, if you want to make a movie that's all black people, go fuck ahead.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I would
as long as it's a
actually
good movie, I don't care.
Love
Yeah.
like Us. and-
Unless you're that,
Yeah.
and
unless you're
those,
that
like-
season of Scream that sucked,
Yeah, the third season was really, really
because that
shitty.
was sucked.
It was terrible. But
No.
it's just kind of it's getting to the point now where it's just kind of like I just saw a commercial for Cinderella last night, and
The one with Brandy.
it's no, it's a new live
another
action
new one.
movie.
Another one?
Yeah, and
It's like 6
what's
weeks
the
out,
what's the black guy? He's gay and he's real flamboyant. Like he hosted something recently, and he's really like boisterous, like loud and crazy and shit. He's the fairy godmother. I'm like,
RuPaul.
really? This is what we're doing now? The fairy godmother is a gay guy now. Like, come
I
on.
want to bring back the fairy godmother from Shrek. I like that vibe.
Yeah.
Big old sassy, thick woman
What happened to
telling everybody
bippity
what to do.
boppity boo? You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're like I feel like it's ruining stuff and because everybody has to be included. Everybody gets a fucking trophy. It's like it's not like that.
It's that
It's not like that.
participation
I
No.
feel like you should make a movie, find the parts that fit, and make it. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's missing someone. I just don't get it.
So my thing is like I always related. So for me, like this conversation, I was related to Spider-Man. It doesn't matter. Like Spider-Man himself is a mantle. It doesn't matter if that person is black, white, Asian, trans, whatever. That's Spider-Man. That's your mantle. That's your character. Peter Parker himself is white.
Right.
He was always written that way. Always been that way. Blah blah blah. There were talks of Donald
So is Johnny
Glover.
Storm.
Mhm.
There were talks of Donald Glover being Spider-Man, and the thing is, like, I'm all for it because I think Donald Glover would be an amazing Spider-Man.
Sure.
I actually
But make
think,
him Miles
like,
Morales.
make him Miles
Yeah.
Morales. The thing is, they have him technically right now set up to be the Prowler.
Right. That's what I thought.
And if they go that way, I'm actually going to be ecstatic to see him back
Sure.
as a Spider-Man character because that's
He
my
doesn't
favorite
do enough
franchise.
stuff, does he?
But
He doesn't.
He's
really
so
no,
good,
he,
man.
he is really
Like,
good. Yeah.
I really think he gets chipped out of a lot of stuff. But yeah, so like Community was a perfect example. Like that entire show, I watched that show for Donald Glover.
Right.
Like
Yep.
he's just the center for that for me. But having Peter Parker be a different character, it's like no. When you made Miles Morales, you made a perfect answer to why can't Spider-Man be black because
Right.
he's a different person,
Of course.
and it's beautiful. Like his new powers are awesome.
Yeah.
There's like, do you remember the Golden Book series?
Mhm.
Like you used
Yeah,
to
yeah.
read to like your kids at night, the whole thing. They made a Miles Morales one, and it explains like him being in the same like timeline as Peter when he's
Mhm.
alive, and it doesn't get into like how they split, but it's like the two of them teaming up and like Parker showing Miles how to be a hero. I'm like, yes. I'm like, let's
Right.
do that. Like, let's put that in a movie.
Sure.
Like, if that's part of Far From Home, and be like, yes, whoever you choose for Miles Morales, let's go. They can
Right.
take over Phase 4. Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck cares? But it's like, you don't, like you don't dark wash a character, just like you don't want to whitewash Blade. Like
Exactly.
it's the same. To me, it's the same thing.
It
I feel like
is.
they should
But,
have their
like,
own mantle because it
yeah.
makes it less special,
I
in
feel
my
like
opinion.
it cheapens
cheapens.
that
It's the
character. because, like, oh,
oversaturation.
it's a
Right.
black Peter Parker. It's like, wouldn't you want that person to stand alone
Stand
instead
out.
of just being like, oh, your shade's darker now?
Right.
Like, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know.
And another
Yeah.
thing they're doing is they're taking old 80s movies, 80s slasher horror movies,
Yeah.
and making them fucking like feminist girl power movies.
Oh, yeah.
And like the Black Christmas is the perfect example. Like
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
the original Black Christmas is like one of my favorite slasher movies.
Okay.
And they remade it with Lacey Chabert and Katie Cassidy, and I mean there's some other people. And it was actually pretty good. Like it stayed pretty true to the original.
Mhm.
Okay.
It had a couple things that were different, but it stayed true to it. And then they remade the new Black Christmas that came out a couple years ago, and it's
Just totally
like
different.
it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they just took the name.
It's
Yeah.
They took the
Bullshit.
name of the movie and made some other crap
Movie,
and
yeah.
I'm like, well, that's not
Now
Black
is
Christmas.
it
Like,
all black actors?
no,
also?
Black Christmas is just the name of the movie.
Okay. No, well, because I'm thinking, okay, it's like because of the tone of the conversation, I'm like, okay, so did they just
No,
make everyone black for
No,
Black
it
Christmas? 'Cause
wasn't.
then it'd
Black
just be
Christmas was about like death, like
You're
Death Christmas,
so,
basically.
You're so like
Literal.
simple
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with black people.
sometimes.
But I left that theater. I was so pissed off
Really?
when I
Wow.
left that theater because I was just like, that's fucking bullshit that they took the name of
Right.
someone that they know that people that love 80 slasher
And then
movies are
just
going to go
dropped
see and then dropped a pile of shit on us.
Completely changed it.
I was so mad. And now they got the new Slumber Party Massacres coming out.
Oh,
And all they've released is the poster.
Yeah.
And guess what the poster is? It's 5 girls
Hello,
standing
folks.
there holding weapons. Gee, I wonder what this is going to be about.
We're doing it
Is it
again.
going to be about a guy with a drill killing girls at a slumber party? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
Do the weapons make sense?
no. The
Okay,
girls
so
in
that's
the
normal
original
also.
Slumber Party Massacre had no weapons. They were getting drilled to
They were
death.
getting
Okay.
yeah
Yeah.
murdered.
And
Okay. I
they're
get that.
they're ripping it off, man. It's
Yeah.
bullshit. They did it with Wrong Turn. The new
Mhm.
Wrong Turn, same thing, man. They're just taking the name to because they know people are going to go see it,
Yeah.
and they're making something else,
That's
and
good.
it's
yeah.
bullshit.
Wrong Turn had its own cult following. Like they had their own.
Yeah, man.
There was like
Absolutely.
5 of them.
Yeah, I think there was more than that. I think there was
That's-
6 or 7 of them.
that's
Yeah, there's a
ridiculous.
lot of
you
them.
get cash grabby directors that are like,
Right.
I can make a wrong turn.
Well,
Yeah. And it turned into a girl power,
Really?
all
Okay.
inclusive movie.
It was actually the same writer from the original movie.
Yeah, apparently the story is the writer this is the movie he wanted to make originally.
Yeah. And then the studios made
Which
him make
the
it,
studio made
made
him
it
do
all
something
redneck
different.
and cannibals. Yeah. They changed the
Interesting.
story to that. But
Right.
this is the original story that he wanted to write.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what the Wrong Turn universe was supposed to be, or something like
I
that.
don't know. The old
Right.
the old universe is hillbillies,
Cannibal. Yeah.
Right.
backwoods hillbillies killing people.
Yeah.
This one is like a cult. It's like
Cult,
they
okay.
come up on this weird cult.
Yeah.
And
Interesting. I would actually. I mean, I would
Lame.
watch that just because that sounds.
I mean, it
Like,
shouldn't have
it
been a
would be
Wrong
good
Turn. It should have just
on
been
its
its own. Yeah.
Yeah, like its own type of movie.
That's what I think they should do. I don't think they should take away that aspect of horror. I think they should continue to make those kinds and then
Sure.
go, hey, we also have these other options for you if
Yeah.
this isn't what you like. Don't
but
Yeah.
don't call it
change it.
Black Christmas or Slumber Party
No.
Massacre. Call it something different.
Yeah.
don't change a
that's-
formula.
That's
been
telling me
working.
you don't have
Yeah.
enough confidence in your movie
Right.
that you don't
do
have
it.
to
You
that
have
you
to-
can't
you
you don't
have
have
to
to rip
play
off
the-
a name of someone else.
Well, they
Yeah.
had to put butts in the seats.
yeah.
Like I said, Wrong Turn had a
And that's
cult
the problem with
following.
movies right now.
Well, there's a lot of problems with movies nowadays, but that's just one of them where they just can't get butts in the seats, so they
Right.
gotta
Yeah.
take whatever they
And
can.
don't get me
to-
wrong, I don't really mind reboots. Like I don't
I think
Right.
there's
I'm not-
a good way to do them.
I don't like them, but I go see them.
Like the Friday the 13th reboot, loved it.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Loved it.
And I think the new Candyman is going to be badass.
Yes,
I hope
I'm
so.
excited
It
for
looks
that.
so good.
I hope so.
But stay true to the movie, man. Like don't rip off the name and then make something
Yeah.
else completely
Like-
off the wall.
like you ruin its legacy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
call it something else.
Do your
Like
own thing.
the
Make
My
it
Bloody
yours.
Valentine movie that they redid.
Yeah.
It was like I think it was like 7, 8 years ago with Jensen
Yeah, the
Ackles.
reboot.
That was
was
that was a
good.
great
Yeah, it was
retelling
freaking
of
awesome.
the whole story. Like
Yeah.
I think they did
Absolutely.
really well. So stuff like that, like, yeah, I'm totally for that. If you're gonna remake a movie with the same title or
Remake
the
it.
same thing,
And make
at
it a
least
little different.
Do it, yeah.
Do it
Yeah,
a
don't
little
copy the
different.
same exact thing.
But don't just take the name or take like one actor or one thing and make that your grab, and then everything else. Is shit.
Exactly. An example of the original Black Christmas. It was these girls at a sorority house, and it's on Christmas Eve, and somebody just in the house picking them off, and you never see the killer ever.
Really?
Like, all you see of the killer is an
That's
eye
cool.
looking through a hole. That's all you see of him.
That's one of my favorite
And then the
styles.
reboot was pretty much the same movie, but they did a backstory on the killer, and they showed who the killer was,
Nice.
which I didn't mind. It was like, all right, cool. We get to see
Right.
who it is
Yeah.
and what his deal is. But the original, like, you didn't know anything about him.
Okay.
It was just some guy in a house killing people, and you had no
I
idea
like
why
that.
or
I
who
like
he
the
is or
mystery.
anything. Yeah, it was weird.
Like, you don't know any motive, you don't know what the backstory is. Like,
Right.
I think that's
Killing
scarier.
people
Yeah,
to
of
just
course.
kill
It's
people.
what the original Halloween was supposed
Halloween,
to be.
yeah. And then Rob Zombie remade it
Ugh.
and put a backstory, which, again, I didn't mind. It's just a different take.
I hate
Don't
Rob.
mind.
It's a different take on the
Rob
movie.
Zombie.
Oh, you're gonna fight.
Actually, I actually don't like
Okay.
his second one. I love the first one.
Oh, the second Halloween.
I can actually
was the
agree with
worst.
that. Yeah.
The second one was just off the wall. What
The
fuck
second
is
Halloween
White
and
Pony?
Fantastic Four reboot are neck and neck.
They're right there.
And it's funny because I saw that at the theater, Halloween 2, and I left the theater. I saw it by myself, and I
What
left
the
the
fuck
theater,
just
and I'm like,
just disappointed.
what is, why? Like, he didn't even use the Halloween music
Nope.
in that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you abandon Halloween? Like, that's
theme.
Halloween, the music.
I like the Danielle Harris kill though.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That I like. That was my
And
favorite
then-
kill.
Years later, I watched it again. I'm like, you know what? Let me give it another try. I watched it again. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I was
Never
right
mind.
so many
Still-
years
See,
ago.
his first one, I liked it.
I liked the first one. I thought it was good.
The second one, just like I said, just went off the rails.
But again, Halloween
That is very
stayed
true,
true to
Rob
the
Zombie.
original, but added some stuff. And
Right.
that's cool. I like that. But when you're
yeah,
taking a name and then
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the original.
The studio went
that's
back to
bullshit.
him to make another movie. He was like, I don't have another movie for
Right.
that. So he
Yeah,
was
he
just
said that
he
was
just threw shit at the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted to make part
Yeah.
2. And
He had no interest of doing a second one. So
That one was a Rob Zombie movie. His movies are always insane and crazy and all over the
Yeah.
place, and that's what he
Dirty
went with
people.
instead of sticking to the.
See, I don't like
Yeah.
any of his movies. None. It's just
he's hit or miss with me, man. Like, I like House Without Corpses. I like The Devil's Reject.
but I can say the same thing about Tarantino movies.
I didn't like 31.
You didn't like. I did
Nah,
like 31.
that was
but then
weird.
again, I like the main.
I didn't like that one actually. That was one of my least favorite
Lords of
movies.
Salem.
That's my
Yeah.
that's my
I
favorite
thought Lords
one.
of Salem was kind of boring,
Old
and I like
British guy.
It's very
stuff.
culty.
See, like I
Yeah.
said,
If you're
none
not
of his
like,
movies. I can't get into his style. I don't
I'm
like his
interested
style.
in what he's going to do with the monsters.
Yes.
Like-
I'm. Oh my god,
Well, he's
I
animated.
watched that like when I was younger. Like I'm hoping he doesn't just turn it on its
Destroy
head.
it,
I just.
yeah.
Oh.
I like the show. I used to watch the show
Oh,
every
the
night
show's
before
great.
bed.
And then you
Yeah.
got the new Addams Family, Tim Burton. He just
Mhm.
cast Louis
Carter.
Guzman
Yeah,
as
That was a
as
weird
Gomez
casting choice.
and Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia. And I'm just like,
I mean, I'm down for her.
yeah,
Like,
you like her?
I do.
he likes her.
Since
Do you watch that show, The Prodigal Son? There's a network show
That
called
sounds-
Prodigal Son, and it's actually a really good show. They
No.
canceled it, and it was a really good show. And they brought Catherine Zeta-Jones like halfway through the last season.
okay,
She looks fucking terrible. man.
Really?
Oh,
well,
has not aged well.
She's
that might.
having a hard time.
Yeah, and she's you can tell she's getting work done and just.
Oh,
It's just
don't do
plastic
that.
face.
Don't get
Yeah.
work
Oh.
done. Don't do it.
And I've never thought she was that great of an actor either. I liked her in Zorro, but
Yeah.
So it was good.
I didn't-
I'm trying to think what else I like.
I can't
I like
think
her
of
in
anything else I
Ocean's
liked.
Ocean's 13.
eh.
What was the one with
Sorry,
Sean Connery teaching her how to steal?
Oh, yeah.
Entrapment.
stuff? That one. Ever since that movie, I've just been like, you're just. So
Yeah, she was smoking back in the
Oh,
day,
yeah.
but
Fuck yeah. She had no ass though.
Age has not done
No
well
ass.
for her.
Like she had to do that whole underneath the laser ass thing to make it look like she had an ass, but she didn't have an ass.
Well, that was the style then. It was no butt and
Boobs.
big
no
boobs.
butt, big boobs.
Yep.
Yeah, no wonder.
I
Those
mean,
Right.
those are the comics I grew up on. So yeah,
Yep.
so yeah, that works.
But what's funny is she's just
video games.
not good. So I was kind of interested. I was like, why would they choose them two for Morticia and Gomez?
It is a
Is
very
this supposed to
strange
be
pair.
like them older? Because I think
I mean,
Christina
maybe.
Ricci's still playing
Christina
Wednesday.
Ricci is still playing her. Yeah, so I think
So it's supposed to be like
yeah.
older.
Wait, is this a live action or a cartoon?
Yeah, it's a live
live
action.
action. Mhm.
Really?
No.
That's interesting.
That makes it make a little bit more sense, but I don't know. That's just a weird casting choice
Yeah.
for both of them.
Louis Guzman. I like Louis Guzman.
I like him too. He's very
but I don't
funny.
see him as Morticia Gomez
Yeah,
Adams.
Gomez.
Yeah.
But I didn't see Heath Ledger as a Joker either, so
Yeah. Who
Yeah,
knows?
we were all wrong in that one.
Yeah, yeah, and that was probably one of the greatest performances of acting I've seen.
And I remember when they cast him, I was kind of like,
yep.
what?
Yep.
And then everybody
You
was
like
just
that from Knight's
hating
Tale?
and hating
Yeah.
on that casting choice.
It was
Well,
that
you
dude
see,
was
they
just
hate
like-
a lot of casting choices, and you know what?
Yeah.
Just like
And
Ben
most of the
Affleck.
time they're right.
Ben Affleck as Batman, I actually liked it.
I love Ben Affleck.
I actually really liked it.
Is Patterson still doing? Or did that get scrapped?
No,
Him
it's
as
still
Batman. That's still happening.
It's still
it's still
happening.
happening.
Yeah. I just saw the trailer the
curious.
other day. At the
I'm
theater.
curious
Like-
too. It's supposed to be Batman starting out, so
Okay.
basically he's like early on. He doesn't have like all the gadgets or whatnot.
Right.
So
So it's. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like there was
Is this supposed to be based on Frank Miller's stories?
I don't know.
or it might be the Phantom.
It's more
So
more
the
detective
animated-
based. He's more detective based.
Right.
He's supposed to
Okay.
be the greatest detective. This is how he's building that great
Oh,
detective
okay.
persona.
Gotcha.
And like I said, he doesn't have all his gadgets yet. He's got his souped up. I forgot. It's a Charger, I think it is. And like I said, it's bulletproof, like the Blade vehicle, but it's not like the
just a
Batmobile.
Charger.
It's not like the.
It's
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
Charger.
Don't have ejector seats. We don't have rocket launchers.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. I think it's just early
Okay.
Batman detective work and building
Interesting.
the yeah. So I have hope for it that way, and I think you know what he
So
can
it's kind
be
of like where
brutish.
Gotham left off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds about
His
right.
acting is kind of dry though, so I'm kind of
I
worried
freaking love
about
that show,
that.
man.
Well,
I don't
but he's
know.
supposed to be just brood and just
brooding.
like stern,
Yeah.
stern
You
face.
could have just cast Kristen Stewart then. I mean,
Kristen Stewart as
You didn't know?
Catwoman.
I was gonna say you didn't know she's gonna be the Catwoman.
Oh, no.
No, you see that
No.
casting?
No.
It's,
Mr. Freeze's wife.
it's Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman.
Okay.
She's awesome, dude. I love
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
There's a show on Hulu. Did you ever watch High Fidelity?
Yes.
That series?
Oh, there's
Yeah, there's a series with
no,
her.
I saw the movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a series with her. It's
Huh.
actually really good. They canceled it though. It was only one season. I saw like all the shit I like. They canceled.
I know. One season.
This
Here
is-
you go.
Well, we've already established your taste.
Yeah.
It's simple. Maybe it was
Good.
just too simple for them.
Yeah. Oh, it was a good show.
Wow. I don't know.
She's smoking dope, man. I love her.
Who is it?
Beautiful.
Zoe.
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz.
Lisa.
Oh,
Lenny
yeah.
Kravitz
Oh,
daughter.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like she's spitting image of her mother.
Oh, yeah.
Like Lisa Bonet was like the shit back in the day.
She was gorgeous, too.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then like she looks like her. Her mannerisms are exactly
Very
like
similar,
hers.
yeah.
But she's cool.
But can she sing?
We'll see.
Maybe.
Oh.
Just throw
A lot of
sing in
actors and
there.
actresses can sing.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping
Everyone
that that Batman gets released soon because I don't know because I think they're just pushing it back because
They've been pushing it back. I
They
think
pushed
it's March.
everything
I
back.
think it's
Yeah.
March next year. Actually, it's supposed to come
Oh.
out. They just showed the trailer at the theater the other day,
okay. Good.
right before Suicide Squad. They
Now
showed
we're
it.
curious on the
Okay.
universe that it's going to be in because you didn't know what universe the Joker
Right.
was in,
Yeah.
and so it's.
Yeah.
I'm really curious how if they tie them together somehow,
Yep.
or what.
Or if they just call an easy out and just go, okay, well, since Ezra's Flash went into Crisis, they'll just say, okay, well, it's just one of the other universes before Prime, and then just
Pick one.
make them their own universes and just
Yeah.
call it a day.
I mean, it's got literally all the villains in it.
Yeah.
in this one. So
I'm hoping they don't like put all the villains in it and then
all
just,
they are.
no, but I mean like
The Riddler's in it.
Kinda like the
Catwoman's in
Spider-Man
it,
3
Penguin's
thing.
in it.
Oh.
like the Spider-Man 3 dilemma where they put too many fucking people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
Just too
Oversaturated
much.
villain card.
And,
Don't
and
develop any
Spawn
of
was
them.
like 10. I mean, not Spawn. Fucking
Venom.
Venom was only
Yeah.
15 minutes. Like,
I was like,
Also,
the movie's about Sandman. Let's
Yeah.
throw Venom in the last 5 minutes.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
and then the
Should
Goblin.
have been the other way around.
Right.
Yeah.
That's I didn't like the Sandman. I thought it was kind of lame.
Yeah.
So Sandman to me is only good when he's part of the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Yes.
So without the other five, it's just kind of
It's
like,
just,
I mean, we can just make you
Sandman.
mud, call it a day.
Now do you think they're actually going to make that movie, The Sinister Six?
I don't know. I
don't think
hope
so.
they will, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think if they did a live action Spider-Man show and they found an actor to do Parker like just out of high school going into college, like that age range where he has like maybe a year of Spider-Man under his belt, maybe
Mhm.
two, I think then you could get away with it because then you could introduce like each one of the Sinister Six over like 2 or 3 episodes. Let them get some grit in. Let you get some attachment for like their sob stories if they have one. Like I know Vulture, he has a pretty decent backstory.
Yeah.
Actually, they set up a.
He's supposed to be in
different line
Morbius,
for
too.
him. Yeah.
See, personally, I think they are setting up the Sinister Six, and that's where
They were
they're-
setting them up a long time
No,
ago.
but I think
Happened.
I think they're doing it with this
again.
multiverse.
With that, yeah.
I really because
They keep like building the Sinister Six up, and then they're like, we don't
just
like
kidding.
these anymore. Let's make a different
Well-
Spider-Man.
well, right now in Morbius they showed Vulture,
Right.
Scorpion, fucking in the end credit scene when he was walking in the jail, and then now you got Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We already have Mysterio.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what they're doing.
that's
They
what,
were just
We
biding
know
their
Doc
time.
Ock's in it in the next
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You might be onto something, Tony.
this is well because I'm
Calling
just
it.
watching it like because you said all those like there's gonna be other villains in that movie
Right.
coming from also multiverse. So I think that's literally how I think they're gonna.
Yeah.
But I just think they're gonna do it too quickly
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
because if you do a whole Sinister Six thing, it's got to be like the whole movie, or it can't be
That's
just
the thing,
thrown
man.
in.
If you're putting all these characters in it, make
They
it
need
3
time.
hours long and
Yeah.
do it right.
Yeah.
Instead
Give us
of
a full movie.
I mean,
doing
we
some
sat
2-hour
through
bullshit.
Snyder's, what,
4
hours?
hours.
Yeah,
4
exactly.
hours?
You didn't even watch it yet.
I haven't even
So
watched it.
long. it was worth it, but it was just so
I
So
watched it
long.
in 3 parts,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
fell asleep during each part. And I started, like, literally, I took a nap, and then I reset about 10 minutes, and then watched
Bathroom
the
break,
next.
get some more
And
snacks.
then, yeah.
See,
How did they
like
screw
it.
up Spider-Man 3 with Venom? Like,
They just jam packed them all in there. Like,
because they literally, the movie before that made probably the top 5
grossing movie.
top
Yeah.
5 superhero movies of all time.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then just
No.
fucking took a shit
First
on
off,
the
the
third
cast,
one.
the
It was
casting
just like,
for Eddie Brock was trash.
Yeah.
That was my first issue.
he wasn't nasty enough. Eddie
did
Brock
not
was just like a
belong.
dick.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
wasn't
Well,
dickish enough.
Topher Grace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Topher didn't belong.
No,
I really
he
like
just
Hardy. I think is phenomenal.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if he existed.
Did you like the Venom
cinematically,
movie?
like, yes.
I thought it was
I thought
awesome.
it was solid.
And the new
all
one
the way.
looks so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maximum
The only-
carnage.
I just
Yeah.
wish they had made it rated R
Yeah,
and
so it
showed
could've
blood
been
and
dark.
shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted.
Well, they
I
got to bring
wanted
them over to.
nastiness.
They got to bring them over to the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
And
they got to
well,
figure out how to do
The
that.
thing is, if you're gonna give Deadpool an R rating,
Yeah.
you should give other
Right.
anti-heroes.
An
It
It
R-rated.
was
as
so
well, so
violent,
they can
and there was
be
no
real.
blood. Like he bites
It was
somebody's
very
head off, and there's no
dissatisfying.
blood, and you're just like, what?
Yeah. At least, I mean,
I'm watching
even
a
if you
PG
do like,
movie.
even if they did like a, what they used to do to video games in the '90s when all the moms got super pissed about the violence,
Yeah.
like Green Blood, even just anything.
Any kind of
Right.
Well, that's how they
Squish.
fucked up the Mortal Kombat game because it went to
Yeah.
Congress and they're like, "This game is too violent,"
Bitches.
Yep.
and then that's when they started rating the movies.
Yep.
And
Oh,
letting-
Karen
Then don't
rating
let
other
your
games.
kids play it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shelter your children.
No, yeah. So
Don't expose them to anything.
Yeah, it should be an R rating. Absolutely.
Horrible. Those are the kids that
Yeah,
become
it's
serial
just-
killers. The
Yeah.
sheltered ones.
Because they don't know. They
I
don't know about it, and
haven't
then it's a
done
shell
anything.
shock when they do see
Right.
it.
I used to work with this lady, and she was like our office manager, and she would bring her son in, and he was like probably 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
And if we said a curse word, she would flip out.
No.
I'm like,
no,
really? And when she wasn't there, we were like, yeah, that kid's gonna be a serial killer. When
no.
Sheltered
Have
from
you
the
kept
real
tabs on
world.
said kid?
No, I haven't actually.
You seen him in the news?
I wish I had.
Mommy dearest.
He kept them
Yeah, one day we were gonna see him on the. I'm like, hey,
I know him.
that's him. I knew it.
Bastard. That little bastard.
Now the thing is, would you be one of the people who like would call in like there's just like a
I know.
series of murders in your area, and you're like, you know, it might have been this one kid.
Yeah.
So
I think I knew
That's
who
a
it is.
little weird.
And for some reason, he went out saying he left the house saying, "Watch your language." I knew.
Steve Rogers.
Oh, God. America.
We used to hate that lady, man. She was like the fucking
See,
Hitler.
that's overkill.
She was like the office
Yeah.
Hitler.
No.
She was like our compliance, like when I was in
That makes
mortgage.
sense.
She did all the compliance docs and everything.
That's why she.
And
Yeah.
one time, oh my god, funny story. We were in like there was, I was here, there was a wall, and then my best friend was on this side, and then
Okay.
she was over here. There was like a walkway, and then she was over here, and then another person was over here. And we used to have a chat, like a Skype chat
Okay.
thing where you can
Yep.
chat with people in the office. And so my friend Andy turned 2 files in, and she was like, Andy, you did this wrong. Just bitching at him about it. And then, like a few minutes later, she's on another file of his, and she starts yelling at him again. So I Skyped him. I'm like, Andy, will you make sure your shit is right so Little Miss Perfect will shut the fuck up like that? And I accidentally sent it to her.
Oh no!
And she was like, she saw the thing and looked at me, and she goes, you sent that to me, dumbass. Like that. And I was like, holy shit.
They would have been like, watch your
The
language.
office erupted, dude. Like everybody was like on the floor crying, laughing. Like it was so funny. I was like, oh my god.
But did Andy get it right after?
I don't think he did.
Nope.
No.
Damn it.
Man, all the hope just gone.
But that was funny.
But now thinking of it, that kid would grow up to be the killer that killed people with soap in their mouths. Like,
Right.
like,
Eat it. Hot sauce in his mouth.
Oh, God.
That's how they die.
Ugh.
Good.
That's
times.
what I got when I was a kid. Mexican hot sauce.
I got soap.
From Mexico. It was like green hot sauce.
Oh,
Really?
ooh.
And she'd put it some on my tongue. I was like,
I got soap once. It wasn't even real soap. So my dad was part of a multiple marketing company called Melaleuca, and they have this thing called a gold bar. Their soaps aren't actually soaps. I don't even know how they're supposed to be described, but it's what you would use instead of soap. And it tastes like vegetables. So like it's not a horrible
So you're like,
taste.
yeah.
It's not like
Pretty
putting
good.
like Dawn soap. Like I've had like water splash my mouth when I'm doing the dishes.
Right.
Like Dawn soap is trash.
Vile.
This wasn't horrible because it was also like Melaleuca is
Was it
what's
organic?
used.
Yeah, it was organic. It's like
what's
vegetable
used in
glycerin
all
and
of,
tea
like,
tree
our-
oil.
Yeah. So it's like
Hippies.
it was just strong.
Yeah.
It was just strong. It wasn't bad. It wasn't synthetic.
Just
Taste was
strong.
gone a few minutes. The thing that I didn't swear after that 'cause I'm like he made me
No, I
bite.
kept
the
swearing.
soap.
ugh.
So it's like ever since then I'm like I don't really want to eat what I wash myself with. So yeah, sure, whatever. I'll just
Thanks.
swear
I
at my
won't eat
friends.
soap
Cool.
now as an adult.
Yeah, like
My family was never big on swearing. Like we didn't really like. It was not an
My
issue.
whole family's like sailors.
I mean, no, we swear a lot, but
No,
it was
this
just
was
not
like-
like a negative.
This was like I was like 5 years old, and my
Oh,
mom's door was shut, and I was banging on. I'm like, open the door, you fucking bitch! Banging on the door, and she opened the door like.
That's how me and my
what?
grandma talked to each other. She was a nurse with the Red Cross and the like sailors, everything, like
Yeah.
swearing out the ass.
And she'd
all
make me
the
go
time.
pick my own switch, and I'd
Nice.
get the
Oh,
My
yeah.
grandma did that
I'd get
too.
the thin one like a dumbass, and
she goes no.
That's it.
No,
whip my
get
ass.
a bigger one.
Yeah.
Go back
No,
out, pick a
those
real
thin
switch.
switches whip. Those thin switches whip.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's because they break so easily. That's why.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
they're
thing.
flexing. They're flexing. So they'll.
Yep.
Too much give.
Yeah.
Too much. You don't stand in the right spot. It whips around and leaves a mark on your front, and your mom's like, "What?"
What?
Yeah. Grandma whipped my nuts.
Oh,
Oh, that's not a conversation you want to have with your dad. So
oh God.
I don't know. I used to have weird conversations with my dad. My dad was
about your
Was always
grandmother
drunk.
whipping your balls.
no, my grandma. My grandma was always drunk too. But I mean,
Well,
Dad
family
was,
just
oh no, it's family trait.
yeah. And I don't drink. I don't drink. So so I don't.
Good. So he
Nobody
taught
in
you
my
your
family
lesson.
drinks. Nobody drinks in my
Yeah,
family.
That's great.
I don't know. I guess I didn't inherit that.
Yeah,
But
no,
I guess it's a good thing.
It's not a bad thing.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the Killer Collab podcast on this episode. We have Blake Stone and Sith Jade, as always, Chris Lato, and my name is Tony D. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Thank you for joining us. Live happy, live healthy, stay safe.